watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Good morning, good morning. My name is Timberly Taylor, and I am here representing Junior Achievement of Memphis in the Mid-South. Raise your hand if you have heard of us before. A couple people, all right. So Junior Achievement of Memphis in the Mid-South represents a global organization that focuses on 3 pillars in the K-12 space. And those 3 pillars are financial literacy. And what is financial literacy? What are we talking about? Money, right? And how to manage it and how to save it. Then we also talk about work and career readiness. Raise your hand if you need, have, or your parents want you to get a job. Everybody's hand should be up. All right. And then we also talk about entrepreneurship. What is that? What is entrepreneurship? You own your own business. Do I have any entrepreneurs in the crowd? Awesome, awesome, awesome. So those are the 3 pillars that we focus on, and we really want to make sure that students are what we call world ready. And so we are so thankful to Ms. Kenny and your other instructors who have allowed us to come here and facilitate one of our programs called Career Speaker Series. And that's where we have a professional come out and speak to students about their journey to their career and answer any questions that you may have. So I am going to get out of the way, and we are going to learn more today about Ms. Carrie Bernans. Thank you.
My son starts school tomorrow. He's so excited. Come on, Mr. Simmons. I don't want to tell my son that we ain't got no place to go.
Where are you going?
Don't worry about it.
I'm already worried.
I know, that's why I don't want to tell you where I'm going.
Is this about that kid? Michael?
Yeah, I'm gonna go get him.
It's 3 a.m. What are you gonna do, break into his house?
Yeah, something like that.
Amanda, you can't.
He gets beat every night, Faith. But a shady cop visited a few months ago, and now no one sees a reason to go back.
Isn't there another way?
I can't get a court date for 6 weeks. And I don't think he's gonna survive that much longer. Look, I was just like you. And I needed someone, anyone to fight for me. Look, I was scared just like you are. But those men, they do not care about you. In order to get justice, we must keep a level head. We can't give them any reason to doubt us.
Surprise! Yes, I am. I'm pregnant. And I know you can't tell because I'm absolutely terrified and I can't imagine being a mother, but I'm happy because I get to have a family, with you. And I get a chance to make things right that my parents got wrong. I know this messes up my career, and probably yours too, but we're probably gonna have less sleep and less sex. But we get to have a baby, and I get to be a mother, but oh my God, labor!
You don't get it, do you? They only chose you because you're white enough. I mean, black, kind of. But white enough to make them feel comfortable.
You're saying I'm not black enough for you?
I'm saying, you're not black enough for Wayne Brady.
We're on that security camera right now. Yeah, your boys downstairs cut the wrong wire.
The world I used to know, I see it differently. You woke me from a dream, now here's reality.
Je ne suis pas ton baby.
I'm dying.
The king!
Hey everybody, how are y'all? I know, y'all were like, whoa, that was a real loud introduction. What's up? If you're happy to be alive, can you clap your hands once? If you're happy to be here with me, can you clap your hands twice? Oh, that was a test. I was like, are you happy to be here with me or not? No, I'm just kidding. You know what? Maybe I should tell y'all this really quick. I'm gonna tell you why I'm doing that. Because on January 1st of this year, you know how everybody said, Happy New Year, let's bring the new year in with a bang? Well, I brought the new year in with a literal bang. Do you know what happened? I got hit by a car, y'all. I know, isn't that wild? I was hit by a car in New York City at 1:30 in the morning. Literally, New Year, midnight, hit by a car at 1:30. And it wasn't no stunt, so I know y'all in the film industry, right? But I was in the hospital for 6 days. I thought I was going to die. I had to get emergency surgery within 24 hours. I had a boot on my leg for 3 months. I just walked in some heels yesterday for the first time in a long time. I was like, how do you do this again? Like, yeah, period. But I say all of this to say is I could have been dead and I could not have been here with y'all and saw all your beautiful faces. So when I say, like, get up with me, y'all should be like, my legs are working, okay? If I say, hey, speak back with me, you have the voice to be able to talk. And if you can't talk, then maybe you can do some sign language or we can figure it out. Don't worry. Whatever that looks like, okay? But my point being is that life is not just expected for each of us. I'm not here to tell you a sad story. I'm going to tell you about my thriving film industry, from Black Panther to Avengers to all of that. But I think it's important for us to realize that each day we have is a special day on this world, and we can't take it for granted. No matter how crazy life can get, it can always get crazier, trust me. But it also can also be a beautiful gift of the present if we realize that moment. I want you to realize something. Each part of your body is a limb. They all have a reason to move, to breathe. They control something in your body, right? In order to, the part of the nervous system. Now, I'm no surgeon, and I didn't go, do no biology major, so don't ask me those questions. But what I can tell you is that your body is working for you. You have the ability to do that. Your impact on this world is so great. So I don't know what you're going through this morning. I don't know what's on your mind. I don't know what happened at home. But I just want you to know that you are alive, you are awake, and you have purpose. So give a round of applause to yourself, please. Clap for yourself like you care about yourself. You grow in time with acting. You don't always start off like Denzel Washington, or maybe he started off that way, I'm not sure. But my point is that I look back at some of my old demo reels when I first got started, some of my first auditions, and I was like, oh my God, who was that girl? She really didn't know what she was doing, but she just kept going. It's the power of consistency, the power of not giving up on yourself, the power of discipline, the power of saying, you know what? If I'm gonna fail, I might as well fail forward.
Suddenly, the world I used to know, I see it differently. You woke me from a dream, now here's reality. Baby, baby, you are really hurting me. 'Cause every time you take me out, and nothing ever changes.
Je ne suis pas ton bébé.
I'm dying.
Hi, my name is Carrie Bernans, and I'm a Hollywood stuntwoman, and this is how I work it. I'm gonna take you through 24 hours of my beauty and wellness routine. When I was 2 years old, I was jumping out of trees, swimming in lakes, oceans, all of that. I didn't know stunts existed until I moved to Hollywood, and boom, I have never looked back. I love the action, the thrill, jumping off buildings, doing some crazy fights, and, bringing boom, action to the scene. I train 4 to 6 hours a day, on average about 30 hours a week, and I work on set minimum 5 days a week. I've been in over 100 different projects in the entertainment industry, 20 different films, 30 different TV shows, more than 10 different video games, lots of music videos. I also have won 2 SAG Awards, lots of action all over the screen. I do a variety of stunts, from fights to falls to car hits to riding cars, doing some motorcycle stuff here, there, to a lot of wire work. I'm like, Tinkerbell on the wires. I do some flips, acrobatics, scuba diving, swimming, high falls. I have my M1 license. I can ride motorcycles. I'm also scuba certified. Also do a lot of horseback riding, swords. I got my black belt in Taekwondo, so I can kick some butt. I also practice other forms of martial arts like wushu, jiu-jitsu, boxing. I could do a lot of high kicks. I love kicks. If you name it, I've probably done it. I haven't done any fire stuff yet, but hey, bring on the fire.
Did y'all like that? Yeah. Y'all thought it was kind of cool? Y'all was like, you could do better, but don't worry. I got a lot of projects coming out, y'all. I'm so excited. Okay. Okay. First off, show of hands. If you are interested in the film industry, raise your hand. If you are interested in being in front of the camera, raise your hand. And in front of the camera means you're an actor. It can also mean stunts, but more acting. If you're interested in being in the film industry, behind the camera, producing, audio, directing, writing, raise your hands. Okay, a little mix. Let me tell you a story right quick. At 17 years old, a young lady named Patricia found herself pregnant with a daughter, and she didn't know what to do, but she decided to keep her daughter, and she found herself in a crazy situation with the father, and they moved around from city to state to state. Is that person okay back there? I think they okay. You okay? Oh, painting? Oh, no. Somebody artwork. We're going to check it out in just a minute. But we'll go back to the story. 17-year-old teenage mother was trying to figure out her life. She was pregnant, didn't know what to do in high school, and the father was there just for a fleeting moment. She found herself moving city, state to state, trying to figure out how to make ends meet. Year and 9 months later, she ended up having another daughter. Moving around, in and out, found themselves in bouts of homelessness, moving from project to neighborhood, city, state to state. And that young girl grew up realizing, like, is the deck of cards she was dealt bad? Should she fold them? I don't know if y'all know how to play cards. Or should she keep going? And if it wasn't for organizations like Junior Achievement, which I want you guys to give a round of applause to Steven and their team back there in Timberley, that young girl would have lost hope. She could have easily, by the time they got to a gas station, they ran out of gas, and they was waiting for somebody to come and be a savior that day to bring them some gas money so they can get to the next place they were moving to give them a little hope. She could have easily given up. She could have said, you know what, dreams are not going to work for me. This is just like not my life. But instead, there were people like Steven with Junior Achievement, people like Belinda Campbell with Youth About Business, people like Ricky Floyd with Pursuit of God Church that kept giving back to this girl, kept giving her a little hope. There were teachers like Miss Thompson. There were teachers like Mr. Tim that kept saying, hey, put your head up high. I know you're going through something. You got this. That kept giving her hope. So I don't know what kind of hope you need today, but I just want to tell you that I faced every bit of adversity in this life. Now, my story may not compare to your story, but that young lady I was talking about is myself. I was the daughter of a teenage mom. We moved around city, state to state. So I didn't come into the world with such privilege. I had to earn it. So I don't know what's going on in your life, but as I showed you my acting reel and I showed you my stunt reel, and as I tell you what this film industry is about, I just want you to know that whatever you're going through, if you use those bricks thrown at you to stand on, you're going to stand taller and you'll be able to reach back and bring somebody up with you. They said, yeah, that was right. It was a little beat. Okay. So I'm going to break off of that for a second and say, I've been in Hollywood for 8 years. I've done, like y'all said, seen Marvel's Black Panther, Avengers Endgame, X-Men Dark Phoenix, 911, SWAT. I don't know, you name a show, I may have worked on it in the acting realm, stunt realm, or even in the voiceovers. I've done Rainbow High, Spider-Man PS5. I've done a whole lot of PS5 video games. So if you play some video games, you might have played me, or you may have heard my voice, because I speak 6 languages, and I do, 20+ accents. Now, they didn't come overnight. One of the things that I want to leave with you today is that right now, what you decide to do is going to make every difference in the world. Is the 15 minutes that you're going to devote to extra studying time or making that project worthwhile? Or is it going to be 15 minutes of sneaking out the house or doing something you shouldn't be doing? The people in your life, your mom, your parents, your guardians, your teachers, they are all striving for the absolute very best you. And sometimes it may seem daunting, it may seem crazy, and you may not want to hear it. You'll be like, okay, you already said enough already. But I hope that you take something of what they said to heart, because they see the future you that you may not see in yourself right now. And if people didn't speak into the future me, I may not be up here talking with you today. I always wanted to be an actor. I remember when I was a young girl moving around city, state to state, I remember that I used to watch TV as an outlook of like, oh my God, is this how it is? Bill Cosby family now. We know Bill Cosby. We don't talk about any of that right now. But I did watch the show. He was a great actor, okay? And I was like, wow, people grow up with 2-parent households. This is so cool. Or people grow up like this. And it was, for me, it was a way for me to dream beyond what I was living in. It was a way for me to just like reimagine a different life. So I knew I wanted to, if I didn't want to act, I wanted to get into the entertainment world because I believe in the power of storytelling. We all can see the power of storytelling is so important. It changes people's lives, the perspective of what they feel about themselves, how they see themselves on screen. One of the most powerful things about Wakanda Forever, Black Panther, because I worked on both of them, Avengers Endgame, but specifically Black Panther, it changed the way that we saw ourselves on screen. It changed the way that we had superpowers. We can do extraordinary things. And you can fill in the blank for whatever movie that is for you. But I want to tell y'all a story about Black Panther. And I'm going to add stories in along the way. First off, I was in Hollywood, right? I was in LA for not even a year, or maybe it was just over a year. When I moved to Los Angeles, y'all, I did not have that much money. But I knew that I wanted to chase my dreams, and I knew that I had to do it quickly. And I say quickly is because I feel like the younger you are, the less like fear you have on the world. So right now, you can really believe like whatever you believe, whatever you put in, all the work that you do right now is going to pay off infinitely in the future. When I came to Hollywood and I did not know what I wanted. Well, I didn't know how I was going to get what I was going to get, but I knew that if I wrote the vision for myself, I can achieve any of that. So I had a vision board, and in my vision board, I cut out photos and I put pictures, and I said I wanted to win a SAG award. I wanted to win an Oscar. I wanted to win an Emmy award. I wanted to work on films that transcend time. I wanted to work on films that empower people. I put this all down on a vision board. I wanted to make over $100,000 by my second year in Hollywood. And all of this stuff may have seemed at that time so out of reach because at the time I had just left a job in the corporate world. I was 2 years fresh out of college, and people looked at me like, are you serious? You quit your job where you were doing really well working for the NBA to go and chase your dream as an actress? And I was like, yes, because that's my purpose. That's what I want to do. My purpose is to storytell. It doesn't mean that I can't do business, because one thing I will tell you for sure is that this is show business. It's not just show, but you also figure out the business part too, which Junior Achievements teaching you about money and all that. That's important too. So make sure you don't forget that part. You can be all the talent in the world and the acting, but if you don't know how to manage your business or choose the right teams, it's going to be very difficult. But when I came to Hollywood, I was there for 1 year because of my amazing vision board and me looking at it every single morning. And at the same time, I was putting in the work. Before I got the call for Marvel's Black Panther, I was literally, I remember at the time I was taking acting classes and I was also taking stunt classes. But the stunt thing, it just kind of came out of nowhere. And I say out of nowhere is because I went to this workshop
on acting, and I told someone, yeah, I want to be an action actor like James Bond. I see myself as a black girl James Bond. I speak 6 languages and I know martial arts. And then they were like, well, do you know stunts? And I was, yeah, like, pow, pow. And they were like, no, it's like, you don't hit anybody. Stunts is like, you got to train and do it. So I said, okay, well, let me learn how to do stunts. So then they told me about my first stunt class. I remember at the time, I didn't have no money. Well, I'm not going to say I didn't have no money. I had very little money. But I was like so eager to learn how to do stunts. So I remember it was like $300 a month. And it was my first year in Hollywood. It's Los Angeles, very expensive. But I remember going in, I told them, hey, I need to join this class. I understand it's $300 a month, but I'm gonna give you $50. Can you take this $50 and I promise I'll get the rest of the money to you by the end of the week? At the time, I decided to start driving Uber part-time. Y'all gonna be like, what, driving Uber? I went from Uber to luxury cars. Okay, no playing. Driving Uber. And I remember I was just like, well, you know what, I'm gonna hustle by driving Uber to make as much money as I can so I could pay for this class, because I know that my goal, my vision was to be a black girl James Bond. And I know I need to learn how to do stunts. By the 3rd day, I told somebody in the backseat as I was driving, they were asking me why I'm driving Uber. I told them the thing, and they ended up giving me half of the money for the class. Now, yeah, that was a blessing. I don't say this to say that this is always going to happen, be your part of the story too, but I'm just saying that people will believe in you and they will champion you along the way. Maybe it's not that they provide monetary support. Maybe they provide encouragement to you to not give up, to keep going. I paid for that class, right? And I started taking stunts. By my 2nd or 3rd week, because this was closer to the end of my first year in LA, I remember I had got a call to do a stunt job. I didn't think I wanted to do stunts, but they were looking for girls that did high falls. And at the time, I was practicing high falls like off of roofs, into trampolines, into big airbags, maybe like 20, 30 times. Because one thing about me and one thing I want to instill in you is the power of discipline, the power of consistency. That's what took me far. Because I decided that if I'm signing up for this class, I'm coming up to every class, I'm going to be there on time because I want to learn as much as I possibly can. Because if any of my time is in a class, is in a thing, in whatever it is, then I'm going to make the most of it because that's how much time I got. If they say, the coach says, I'm training for 2 hours, then I'm going 2 hours all in, all I got. Because that's the power of showing up for yourself, the power of discipline. That's what pays off in the long run. Now, it didn't come overnight. But anyways, I showed up for this class. And one thing this class taught me is the power of courage. And y'all are probably wondering, like, how did you get to all of this? Aren't you supposed to talk about Black Panther? Well, don't worry. This is leading me right to Black Panther. I show up for this stunt class. And like I said, I've been taking acting classes 2-3 days a week. Now I'm taking stunt classes 3 days a week, showing up in class. I didn't know how to do some stunts. Now, I will say I am grateful that I've been an athlete my entire life. So it wasn't very, very difficult. But learning some of the moves of the stunt choreography of going left and right, or the kicks, of chambering my kick back, pushing it out, it was all new. And it had to be taught. One of the things that my teacher was really big on in class was having courage. Why do I say have courage? Because anything in the film industry is about having courage. You got to be able to stand up and believe in yourself. One of the things that stunt class taught me was we would have to work on different fight choreographies, and he would literally say, all right, who's up next? Who's going to volunteer and show me how this goes? They taught the choreography, and then you had to get in front of the entire class, like you all, and get up here and have courage to do whatever it was. Why am I saying that's important, and why am I thankful that I continue to put myself under pressure? That's how I had courage. I put myself under pressure in front of the classroom setting is because it translated to me being under pressure in the film setting. When I did Marvel's Black Panther, I'll tell you how it happened, but when I did Marvel's Black Panther, imagine all of you all are crew and your cast on set. When we were filming some of the scenes, it was like all of you all watching, and it was us right here. And if I did not have the courage to keep going, I could have easily folded under pressure, got scared. Oh my God, is everybody looking at me?
when I did SWAT, when I did, y'all saw the Miss Pat show. When I just led a movie recently that is going to a film festival actually in May to be sold to one of the networks. And that was a big film. That had a lot of crew, cast, people looking at me. If I did not put myself under pressure and have the courage to perform when I was in front of a classroom setting or a class or a training, then I wouldn't have made it this far in my career. So my point is, I got pushed off a roof backwards. Fast forward. Do y'all know Marvel's Luke Cage? Yeah, okay, it's another show. It's another Marvel show. If you're in the superhero world, you may know it. If not, it's okay. I got a call from Marvel's Luke Cage shortly after. I got to go to New York City, film Luke Cage. But I had heard about a film called Black Panther that was filming. I didn't know that their co-title was Motherland until later on. But I got a call for Luke Cage. Like, they was like, oh yeah, Luke Cage. I went and filmed in New York, came back, and I heard about Black Panther, but then I heard it was almost already finished filming. And I was like, oh no, okay, well, maybe the Black Panther 2. But then I said, no, maybe it'll come around. I just still kept believing myself. I still showed up in class. Bless you back there. What ended up happening is like 6 in the morning, and I say 6 in the morning because Los Angeles, if y'all know, it's on Pacific Standard Time. It's 3 hours ahead. And there in Atlanta, 6 in the morning, I get a call from a 678 number. That's a Georgia area code. And they say, hey, Carrie, want to check your availability to see if you'll be interested in working on a project called Motherland. Now, I didn't know Motherland was Black Panther, but then they said, you got to be willing to shave your head bald. And I was like, shave my what? And at the time, y'all, I had long hair down my back. I was like, not shave my head bald. Oh my God. And I was on a veil for a commercial. And back then, commercials pay good, $50,000. You can make $30,000 to $50,000. And being on a veil means that, let's say all of us sitting here went and we had all auditioned for one commercial. And this one commercial is only booking 2 people. We're competing against all these people. But then all of a sudden, let's just say the the director decided, you know what, I'm having a hard time, so I'm only going to choose these 4 people right here. I'm putting these 4 people on a veil. So I was on a veil. We all auditioned, but I happened to be one of these 4 people on a veil. And then out of the 4 people, they're choosing 2 of us. So when I got the call between doing this commercial or being on this project called Motherland, they wanted me to shave my head bald. I didn't know what to do, but I do know it was they said, oh, it's a Marvel project. And I was thinking, is this Black Panther? But I wasn't sure because it was under a code name. I remember going back to that same stunt class where my teacher was telling me, have courage, showing up for myself. You got to step out, you got to have faith, all these things. And then he said, you're telling me you got to call for a Marvel project that wants to fly you out, and all they want you to do is shave your head bald? And I was like, yes. He was like, class, how many of you in here would love a job on a Marvel project? And then everybody raised their hand. And they said, well, how many of you in here would love a job on a Marvel project? Anybody want to work for Marvel? Not really? It's not your deal? Some people, yeah? Okay. Now, how many of you would be willing to shave your head bald? Questionable, right? And that's how I felt. I wasn't sure. I was questionable. But he told me the door of opportunity opens and closes like this in the film world. Now, y'all got it a little different because I feel like film was much tougher before. Now it's still pretty tough, but not as tough. It's a lot more opportunities for a lot more places, but the opportunity opens and closes like this because sometimes when they're casting projects, it just opens and closes. So you know what? He was like, you better call them back if you're interested. He's like, hair grows back. That opportunity may never come back, or it may take another 5 years or 10 years or whatever number that is. And then people in my class started telling me stories about this. They said, I've been out here in Hollywood for 10 years and I haven't got a call for a Marvel project. I've been out here in Hollywood for 10 years and I haven't got a call to book a TV show or whatever. And they didn't give up on themselves. Because sometimes it's not always easy for everyone. And I may have been blessed enough to experience this in my first year. And that could be your story too. As long as you put that hard work, consistency, having courage, and having discipline. So, got the call for the Marvel project. took the call, and I called them right back. And I was like, hey, I would be willing to shave my head bald today if I have to. And they were like, calm down, you don't have to shave it today. And I was like, okay, well, what do I need to do? They said, Ryan Coogler, the director, handpicked the people he wanted. I was like, sorry, I almost kissed his mic, oh my God. I said handpicked, and he said yes. And he wanted me. Why? Because not only did I have the courage to show up and I learned stuff in that stunt class, you know what I was doing? I was putting this stuff online at the time. I was showing them my skill sets I was learning as I was learning them. Now, they were not perfect, but it showed that I was learnable, teachable. I knew other skills. And that's something I want to leave with you too. I don't know what other skills you can pick up right now because you're at the prime age to pick up as much as you possibly can. The good skills, don't pick up no bad skills, okay? No need for that. That's a waste of time. But pick up the good skills, learning an instrument, learning a new sport, learning a language, getting exposure to new cultures, learning a new accent, whatever that looks like, that type of skills. Because I was posting this stuff online, someone happened to send it to Ryan Coogler when they were looking for someone that knew how to do the bow staff, that knew they could do different accents, all these different things, and had some experience with stunt work. Because of them, and then also people that were on that set that happened to be talking about me that said, this girl, Carrie, she's new, she's fresh, she's young. She will be great on this. He goes through his list of people he wanted to choose as Adore Milaje, and I happened to be one. So fast forward to the story. 72 hours later, I flew out. I didn't just fly out, y'all. They came and picked me up in a black SUV car, which was so nice. I had a driver and everything. And then they took me to the airport, and I got to fly first class in the airport. Well, you know, on the plane. I got to the Aloft Hotel, got to stay on like the 23rd floor in Atlanta, Georgia, with the window views all out, so nice. And then they picked me up, went to a fitting and all that, and the rest is history. I did Marvel's Black Panther as Adore Milaje, and then I got to go on and do Avengers Endgame, Infinity War, and so on. So, I don't know if that excites y'all, or maybe y'all are like, okay, Carrie. Yeah, thumbs up, and I got one clap, thank you. It's okay, it's okay. Y'all are a tired crowd this morning. No, I'm just kidding. But all I can say is having the courage and discipline to show up and be consistent is what took me there. And that was just at the very beginning, and also having a vision for myself. So I don't know what your vision right now is for your film career. If that's doing acting, if that's doing stunts, if that is producing, filmmaking. I just did my first film where I produced the entire film, $500,000 budget. And it was phenomenal. But it was really, 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 really tough and stressful as well. The film looks so beautiful. But it was a lot of work. And some of those skills that took me that you can implement right now in maybe you're in a club group here at school or whatever, is a lot of organization. If you want to be a producer, organization is key. Learning how to, you got to be a friendly person, be able to get along with people. You have to be able to lead people. You have to be able to tell people yes and tell people no. You have to be able to say, I'll approve that budget, or you got to come back with a new budget. Or you got to be able to improvise under pressure. You got to be able to perform under pressure. You got to be able to not to fold even when everything is going on. And you're managing every single person on set. I was the producer. You all are all my cast and crew. It was a lot of people to manage. One day I remember we had over 100 extras in the theater scene that we were filming for a piano scene. And it was a lot of hard work. And one thing I will tell you about being a producer or even being in this film industry is that you don't do it alone. You have your team. You have your support. And there are going to be a lot of moments when you are alone, though. Now, I don't want to get it confused or get it twisted because we all don't have the opportunity right away to get an agent, to get a manager, to get a team. Now, we could talk about that in the Q&A if you want. But you are going to have a lot of alone moments. But you are going to have classmates that you can lean on if you try to. You're going to have teachers you can ask questions to when you get a moment. Girl, you leaning over? You tired? No. Okay. But
I do want to talk about this one moment thing, because some of you may be experiencing this today in school. You may feel alone. You may feel like nobody is like me, and I have my own weirdness, and I'm different, I'm unique, and nobody really truly understands that. But guess what? People didn't understand Jordan Peele, and look what he did. He went on to make Us, Nope, break records making films. People didn't completely understand, Albert Einstein. He created the light bulb. He was actually premature. He had a whole crazy story. So what I want to tell you, though, is through this experience of building your career, you are going to have moments that you're alone. And what you can do in those moments while you're alone is you can talk to yourself. And I ain't talking about going crazy. I'm talking about affirmations. When you wake up in the morning, what do you do first? Brush my teeth. You brush your teeth. So do you brush your teeth in the mirror, yes or no? I can't hear you. Do you brush your teeth in the mirror? Yes. Sometimes? Yes. Do you guys look in the mirror once a day, yes or no? Yes. Okay. Well, if you don't look in the mirror once a day, I want to teach you something going forward. You can do two things in life with yourself. You can either be A, your biggest fan, or B, you could be your own worst enemy. You could choose two things. You can either A, water yourself every day and feed yourself. And when I say water yourself, I'm not just talking about physically watering yourself, but you can water yourself with good, healthy thoughts. You could talk to yourself in a positive manner. You can tell yourself to not give up, that this too will pass, that things are going to get better. Or you can say that my life sucks. I hate this. I don't like this. I don't want this. I'm done with this. You have two choices always. You can always choose to see the glass half empty or choose to see the glass half full. And if you want to be in this film industry world, what I hope to leave with you today before I go into this Q&A moment is this. All of those films that I did, the 100+ films, 100+ films, TV shows, voiceovers, all of that, it didn't come because I just happened to be lucky. It came because I didn't give up. It came because I didn't say, woe is me, I didn't get the role. I competed against all of these people and they didn't choose me. They don't like me, I quit. It happened because even when I didn't get the role, I didn't take the no as a no. I took the no as next opportunity, and I didn't give up. What I'm asking for you today is to not give up on yourself. What I'm asking for you today is to have discipline in whatever you do. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy. Because like they said, if it was easy, everybody would do it. But your path is unique, and your path is different than anybody else's. You guys still have breath to breathe. You have visions and dreams that can come true. I don't want you to give up in life. Whatever you're going through, you can do it. That's my purpose of telling you. Thank you all so much. Y'all have been wonderful.